Rennick messaged me like a month ago.
Yeah,
We finally got you in,
yeah,
but
man.
came all the way from Kent.
Yeah,
We've been talking for an hour before we
yeah.
even turned the mic on, and you made me cry once already.
Just,
But you start where you want to start, man.
well, do you want to start for? Do you know what's funny? Let's start from how I'm even here, right? And it goes back to. So back in December, as you do, January's around the corner. You start writing your New Year's resolutions, right?
Yep.
And I was writing mine, and it was like, so I own a few different businesses, earn more money, get into shape, and all these types of things, and my music career, etc. And then everything I was writing, it just felt okay. But I wrote the question, how am I helping people? Right. And I've got to the stage of my life now where it's like, hey, if I died tomorrow, what have I left behind? Right. That imprint of the world, or you could call it legacy, or you can call it something that my kids can look back on as a documentary or to document who I was. And I said, I ain't really got anything. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Right. So I sat on the toilet. That's actually, I'll be real. And I said to myself, okay, what should the podcast be called? This is like 10 minutes after I'm sitting there doing my thing, the dad juice. And I went, I like it, I'm running with it. Right. So my intention was never to really become a content creator and like that. Right. So then I went, all right, cool. So I'm going to start, I don't know, dropping some content. And I started with fitness content and stuff like that. And then it wasn't really hitting on TikTok, but it was hitting on Instagram. And then I thought I'll just start talking about how I am as a person. So my audience, what I wanted to inspire was single dads and men in general. But then I realized authentically and organically, because as they say, everything that happens organic and naturally is always meant to be, right? A lot of single mums started coming up, a lot of mums started coming up and kind of talking more on the basis of, I've never seen a man from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
And then it just blew my mind. And everything I've been doing has just been authentic. And the reason, obviously, I reached out to you is that as you get more traction and you realize that you're helping people, because that's all I want to do is just help people, right? I think it's a bigger flex passing away going, my story, my experiences has helped a million people. And I was saying this to my sisters, my brother-in-law, that what a flex. It's almost godly like.
Yeah.
The fact that your words have been able to impact people in a positive way, but all you're doing is speaking authentic. You haven't got to be no disregard to people like Andrew Tate at all, because there's certain views I definitely respect of his and there's certain views I disagree with. But sometimes as a man, you have to put this ulterior motive on and have a six pack and have all this and have that to sell. And I realized, well, that ain't really me. So I'm just going to speak my truth. And I've realized that I've been able to tap into a new market of authenticity where it's helping. So that's why I reached out to you and I saw what you were doing about the whole.
Thank you, man.
And it's a special thing you're doing, right?
Don't make me cry, Graham, bro.
No, but you're kidding, right? And this is the thing. And I think, like, you told me your story a little bit, and I think it's even me, it's motivated me. But everything I do is just from truth. It's from a place of experience, and it's just from it's just how I am, authentic, and it is what it is. Like, I've been through struggle, which we'll go into later. But yeah, that's how I've ended up here through me. And do you know what's funny? That's the first time in 2025 I sat, shut up, blocked out the noise and worked on myself for 30 minutes. And this is where I'm at. Think about that.
Yeah.
I silenced myself for 30 minutes because what happened, as soon as I got the idea, I've run with it and I've not fought again, which is bad because I still have other goals I've got to hit, which have took a tarnishing because of this. But that's fine. But 30 minutes of reflection over a whole year has brought me here today.
Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Speechless, man.
Bro, it's beautiful. Do you know what I mean?
Life is good.
Energy, baby. Everything's good. And yeah, man, like, what more could I want? Like, the messages I get and stuff is great as well, which we'll cover. But yeah, so that's why I'm here. Beautiful drive from Kent, just under 3 hours. But like I said, for me, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, cool, this is my first one. Like, yeah, this is it, Ren. This is what, because really the voice in my head that came, it wasn't from me. It was from, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. I believe in higher power. I believe in spirituality. I've not put myself into a box of religion yet. That's just me. And I have been from years. So when the dad juice came, all these whispers came, it was definitely from a higher power. And then I just followed it. I just acted action, right? And it's just led me here. It's led me with the audience I have. Yeah, and I've had some beautiful messages, but yeah, that's how we're here.
But how quickly did you get to that following you're at now? It's like
Quick.
quick.
Because do you know what? I was realizing I was trying to create content and force that target audience. So let's say when I started, I was like, cool, my target audience is going to be men and single dads and people overweight. And that's where I'm going to try and target, and then start creating journals and selling it like this and selling fitness plans. So that's how I started. And I got a few men message me going, oh, mate, how you doing it? Rah, rah, rah. I said, well, this is how I'm doing it. Hopefully it helps. But then what I started doing is I thought, okay, cool. Let me just start creating content for fun. Let's have some fun with it. So I started like brushing my daughter's hair. And then I think as a content creator, what you've got to do is just release you. And I started researching, there's this American guy, and he says, okay, with content creation, just be authentic. Don't worry about anything else.
Yeah.
Be you and see what sticks. So I started doing loads of stuff, started singing, because obviously that's what I do. That's my natural ability. I was signed to a record label. I love singing. That was one of my purposes growing up. So I started singing. I started doing stuff with my daughter. I started posting stuff with a man with 2 baby mums. No way, I've only got 2, because I've got the same baby mum. My son's white and my daughter's the same colour as me, but both of them should only be quarter caste. So that controversy started confusing people's minds. And I posted one with me brushing my daughter's hair, and it went, I think got 50, for me on TikTok, for the first time hitting 50K, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And this was like 4 weeks of doing it.
Yeah.
My mum was like, you're going viral. My sister was like, oh my God, you're going viral. I was like, ah. And you get that buzz. It's really bad, man. You've got to detach from the view stuff. Right? It gets depressing.
Yeah.
Like there was times I was posting, I'm like, I've really planned this content. I think it was with my sister. We went to Home Bargain. As you can see, I've got ADHD because I'll just go through thing. So we went to Home Bargains, bro. It took me like an hour to edit, dropped it, didn't pop. I was like, oh. But then
I know exactly how you feel.
What?
I know exactly how you feel.
I got depressed. I was like, oh, it's like, well,
yeah.
Checking views.
It's like your bubble gets popped.
Yeah, but then it's like, I then done one of me brushing my daughter's hair and it went viral, and I started reading the comments like, wow, seeing a dad brush a girl's hair, like, you know, oh, it's amazing. I thought, okay, that's my niche then. I'll just talk about me and my daughter. And I was dropping all this content, and I was only dropping the content for likes and views, right? And to try and find my space, I guess. And then one day I spoke about being a single mum raising a son, because that's how I grew up, right? My dad was there until my dad was a very violent man, very, very violent towards me. And he had that aura where if he walked in a house, you don't want to be there, right? So I grew up with that. And then at the age of 14, I came in and he was beating my mum, crying. I just pulled out the biggest kitchen knife and I said, get out of the house. From that day, I knew I was the man of the house. But even before that, it was always my mum that was there anyway. It's like having a dad, but he's absent. So there's forms of different single mums, as we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Right? You could be a mum in a relationship. Don't mean you ain't single. Do you get it? So when he left, it was no different to me or my sister. My sister dealt with it differently, obviously. She's a lady. And obviously there's difference between daddy issues with a woman and daddy issues with a man. So my thing was like, I've got to be a man of the house now. So I grew up being raised as a mum, and I learnt from my mum's struggle, from going to a nice 3-4 bedroom house, going on holiday every year to America, to living in a 1-bed in my nan's house with everyone. So I just learnt from the struggle, started, don't know if I can use the word. I'll spell it. D-R-U-G. Can I use that word?
Yeah. Go for it, man. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mate, this is your show, man. I don't want
I can always
like,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I started.
I'll put an 18 on it if we get to.
No.
Like
D-R-U-G. Let me spell it. Because young men might benefit from this. Do you know what I mean? So I started doing the wrong things. And that was me being a man. I was 14, making my own money, helping my mum out here. So yeah, that's the audience I've kind of. So anyway, I posted that video. And then it's just like blew up. Just blew up. I think got about 70, 80K views, and like swarmed with comments, swarmed with messages like, oh my God, you've just helped me so much without even realizing it. So many unanswered questions about, I didn't realize how many mums raising sons are worrying if their son's going to be affected. But I can tell them that because I was raised by a single mum, and I think I've done very well. I still have a lot of issues, as we do as humans, and I've still got a lot of goals and a lot of problems and a lot of bad habits. But yeah, man, so that's the audience. So how I started, my first post was the 1st of January. So I think it took I got my first 1,000,000 views overall in about 6-7 weeks.
That's
So I was
crazy.
like, cool, yeah,
It's crazy.
this is all, but it's just organic. Do you know what I mean? It's just all natural. And then I hit like 10K in 2 months, and then even my mum was celebrating, like, yeah, like you're a creator now. Da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I'm still trying to work out the space in terms of the direction I want to go. But I think my thing now is that I've realized that everything I post has to be from an authentic space.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that annoys me. I see content creators talking. There's this guy that's not naming any names, but even there's a guy that talks about single mums, but then he's in a relationship. He wasn't raised by a single mum. And I just think you got to be so careful to what you listen to the internet.
Yeah.
Because people are speaking out of opinion, not experience. So I'll never speak on a subject that I've never lived. And you've got to be very careful. So I've realized, okay, cool. What I'd like to do is I'd like to target, I think, because like I was saying to you earlier, the new age, where men are now, I feel like from the age of maybe 19 up to even 30, they've been brought up, if they haven't got a male figure, on people like Andrew Tate. It's like that whole manosphere thing.
Yeah.
People like HS Tiki Toki. I haven't got anything against HS Tiki Toki. Again, I love some of his content. I don't agree with some of it, but I think he's great. All these idols about men having to have a six-pack, having to drive the biggest cars, having to have this. So that I feel like that generation's already been absorbed. So, and then I started realizing as well, I'd go on dates and girls would be like surprised because I opened the car door. I'd be like, isn't that normal? Do you know what I mean?
It should be though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should
normal.
be. And it's just like, oh my God, you're a gentleman.
Yeah,
so I've done a post call and I feel like the last gentleman left just off experiences. And a lot of women are like,
I did put my missus socks on for her this morning.
That's G.
Just to let you know.
That's G
She
stuff.
asked me, but I should have done
That's
it anyway.
gangster. That's gangster.
But you've seen how pregnant she is.
Yeah, that's gangster though. Even that's beautiful, bro. Birth and having another child. I'm envious of you, and she'd never be envious. And I just look at it like beautiful that you found a partner that you can create life with, and you're both happy to build that best thing ever. So yeah, then I realized there was a space for gentlemen where you need to teach gentlemen, you need to teach men to be gentlemen again. And I thought, okay. So I think my next plan moving forward is I'd like to create a space where my new target is young men, maybe from the age of 7, 8, all the way up to like 15, 16, where they're still in that angle of I don't really know what a man is.
How are you going to reach them now?
Through parents. That's all it can be. You can't, they're too young. So it'd have to be through, well, as it has been, their mums, dads. Yeah, so that's all it's going to be. It'll happen organically.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I said to you though, like, I'm not very good with the questions. Like when people come in and like they flow a conversation,
You're
like sometimes I'm thinking so much about what the person's talked about. It's like I get a little bit starstruck.
Okay.
It's like when I said to you, you pulled up, I was like, yo, he's actually here.
Yeah. I was starstruck when you were there, and I was like, oh, he's actually here. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So it's the same way anyway, and I think why? So even you going, he's starstruck. Why is that? Because this is your pod. I reached out to you. So I'm the visitor. I'm at your house.
Of course. But obviously, like follow you on TikTok, follow you on Instagram, and like, you know, like you've never met someone, but you see how well they're doing.
Okay.
And then you meet them for the first time. It's like.
But isn't it beautiful that the feeling's mutual?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
And even like I said, I'm a very spiritual person. So do you know what, this whole angel number thing, me and my sister and my family have been on angel numbers before it was even a thing. We're talking about from kids. And our number's always been 333, and it's always protected us, and it's always guided us. And like I said, my license plate is private 333. Got in the car, my brother-in-law's text messages were 333. I was like, good day. Sister said something, saw 333. She went Burger King, 333. Pulled up. First thing I saw, I said, Tash, don't say anything. She looked. I was like, rah. Got my tattoo out. I was like, cool, it's aligned. Then I found out you're Maltese. My brother-in-law's Maltese. Found out your missus's name. My sister's name, the same. Do you know what I mean? And then I come in, I saw the Muay Thai stuff. I was like, oh, right, you don't. He's like, yeah, I'm going for the first one. So I was like, cool. So everything aligns, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, it's just, if it's meant to be. My sister was like, are you nervous? I was like, am I nervous to be myself?
No, you can't be, really.
Well, you can be if you don't know who you are.
Yeah. But you know who you are.
I know who I am now and who I need to be. But yeah, I've done the work, but if someone said, do I know who I am? 100% no. Because, like, for an example, one of my...
Yeah, take me back. Take me
Okay,
back.
from the
Go.
start. So born in Southwest London, in Roehampton. My mum and dad were in a council house. So obviously started from the bottom as everyone does. Well, not everyone does, but yeah, started from the bottom. And then when I was in year 4, I want to say, we lived in Mitcham, and I think there was a shooting in the park, and my mum just went, yeah, we need to get out of this area.
Need to move.
Yeah, we need to get out of this area. And in that gap of age, I think as me developing, there was a lot of stuff like, I always craved a relationship with my dad in terms of play with me, play PlayStation with me. It was my uncle that filled in that role. Uncle would come and I'd be like, he was one of the best uncles. He'd come and we'd play Dreamcast or we'd play Time Crisis, the shooting game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, bro.
I remember
So
that.
stuff like that. It's like as a kid, you don't care about money. You care about
No.
what? Let me play.
Yeah.
That's your currency as a child. Yeah, because you don't understand the rat race. So I never got that from my dad, and I was seeking it. But then also my mum was still in a space of she didn't know who she was, because I didn't realize how toxic their relationship was at that age. But you don't as a kid. You're at that stage where I've just found out Santa ain't real. My whole life's over. Do you get it?
Wow.
Daughter, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Do you get it? It's them things though, innit? You're growing up and you think Santa's not real. Or them things where you're going from year 6 to year 7 and that's the biggest problem in your life ever. Right?
Because all kids are going to find out at different stages as well.
Yeah,
and then like some kids might bully other kids because of that.
Yes. It nearly happened to my daughter. She came out with Santa real and we just had to go, yeah, But I call it the Disneyland bubble. Right, where you live in Disneyland and then it starts, the society almost, it's actually quite kind of bad how kids are generated. Like it was like when my daughter found out a cartoon weren't real people. It's these little things that you don't see that slowly breaks the child down into entering the real world that we don't even have a concept of. Right, growing up watching Blue's Clues or Big Blue and that bear's real, find out that ain't a bear, that's a man in a suit. Huh? What do you mean it's a man in a suit? Go Disneyland, seeing characters, that's Mickey Mouse. No, it ain't, that's a man in a suit. Huh? Like, you don't actually understand, like, seeing Mickey Mouse in real life thinking it's real, and then he don't realise a kid's clocking, takes his helmet off. That usually broke a kid's dream.
Yeah, definitely.
So all these little things that we don't clock. So then we moved to Kent, and we moved to Kent in the time I was in year 4. So it was me and one other girl that were the only mixed race and black people. It was racist, bro. So really? Racist. Like my mum would walk down the street, be called gorilla, monkey. Obviously, my dad's white Italian, my mum's black Jamaican. Gorilla. So it was a very.
And this isn't like that long ago, really.
I'm 31 now. So
yeah, you're 31.
So that's still like 22 years ago, bro. The world was a
we've entered the 2000s at this point, though, and you don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, no, but Kent is because it was untouched.
Right, okay.
What Kent is now, it's like a little mini London in certain areas, like Medway and that. It's horrible. And that's where we moved to at first. But we were there when it was like still untouched and unscathed. Do you know what I mean? But even saying that, it was not too long ago. But it's like people, I'm going to go off topic with it. It's like people going, how can World War III happen? You do know, less than 60 years ago, war was real.
Yeah.
But what's happened is everyone's been born into a generation where war's like a video game. Right? So it's the same,
true, man.
It's
so
the same
true.
concept. So when you're like, racism still exists everywhere, bro. People were slaves not too long ago. It's only around the corner. But it's where we've been into, and the generations moved into such a quick shift. Everyone's concept of we couldn't go into war. Why? People are still living now that were in war. What are you talking about? Do you get it?
It's crazy. You try to wrap your head around something like that.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just what we've conditioned. So anyway, going back. So it was really racist, right? So but even in primary school, I don't know, my dad was there, but he weren't there. He was working nights. My mum was working nights. And what I realised is that even when I got older, my mum would always go, but you went on loads of holidays. And I realised growing older, about 3 years ago, I was travelling loads. And it's called, everyone will relate to this holiday blues, right? Go on holiday, come back. Wish I was on holiday. Do you want to know what it's called? It's called escapism. Yeah. Right, and I realised
escaping the reality that you actually live in.
Yes, because my mum was like, but you went on loads of holidays. But that was the only way she knew how to try and give me a better life. She weren't taught. My dad weren't taught. So their thing was like, I take my kids on loads of holidays. That means we're a good family. right? Baseline level, right? But then when we got home, my dad was beating me. My mum was depressed because how my dad was. They weren't living in their true identity. They should never have been together, but they stayed together because of the formula. My mum stayed there but the kids,
Kids.
because her mum and dad split. That's what happened. So
I
I'm
want your
gonna.
view on this as well.
Okay, go on.
So the view of
This is,
if
by the way, I have ADHD, so this conversation can be left, right, everywhere.
that's all right.
Go on.
But like your view on like if there's parents who are together but actually unhappy, and obviously they got a kid or two, should they be staying together?
Great
It's
question.
just an opinion now.
No, great question, because I've been through it, right? So here we go. And this is a fact for me through my experience, right? So we'll start base one. So I saw my mum stay with my dad until I was 14. They were together for like 20 something years, right? And it was the worst thing ever. Like, so, but because we're together, because they done better in the house, because we were going on holidays, the face front looks great, but behind it, he was abusive. It was very toxic. Like mentally, as a kid, I was seeing things that I didn't realize that I shouldn't be seeing, right? Or things that shouldn't be happening. And my mum was like, imagine a butterfly, but then imagine the caterpillar not even going into its cocoon yet, right? So
Wow.
that's where my mum was as a person, due to being in that. You see, that day when I kicked my dad out that house, my mum went into her cocoon, blossomed. Bro, if you see my mum now, this girl's a butterfly. Like, we've semi-retired her in France.
That's beautiful, man.
Bro, she's doing things she would have never have done.
Wow.
Like, so from that perspective, and then going into my own perspective, is that patterns are real. So then what happened with me is I met the mother of my children when I was probably like 19, doing drugs and everything. We were together for like 3 months, and then I ended it. We split up. Got a call 2 weeks later. I'm pregnant.
Ooh.
But me being me, obviously, we went to a house, had a discussion. I didn't want to love my kids now. At the time, I didn't. And I'll say this 100%. I didn't want the baby at the time. Yeah. And do you know what I mean? But I love my daughter now, and I'm happy that I did.
Yeah.
At that time, I said no. Her parents said no. She ended up keeping it, and I was happy she did. Obviously, I'm happy she did.
Yeah.
My daughter changed my life and who I am as
That's
a
what they
person.
do.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
exactly what they
I'll have
do.
more kids in a heartbeat, but it has to be with the right person. Anyway, going back to your question. So with me, I said, I have to stay. My dad left. I have to stay. Right, and I did. And we were together for 11 years, had 2 kids, and I treated her so bad because I know I should have left that relationship in the first year or 2 years, but I weren't man enough, because I was like, well, I'm going to miss out on my kids. So I was there selfishly, right? So I cheated on her. I manipulated her in certain situations. It was hard as well because I fell out of love with her, and at that time I didn't understand that. Basically, after my daughter's birth, she started acting really weird. My mum wasn't allowed to see the kids. My sister wasn't allowed to see the daughter. I was living in her mum's house, and it was like I wasn't the parent, they were. And I went, something's not right here. So I started seeing things. I started filming her. She'd do crazy things. I was like, I'm telling your mum. And I go to her mum, there's something wrong. She's like, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. And then she came out with, I'm hearing voices like something's going to harm the baby. And then next day I came back from work, no one's there. She got sectioned, taken to Essex for like 6 months. And that hurt me, man. That broke me. And I looked at her, I was like, how could you take my kid away? You didn't even tell me. So I saw my daughter like 3 or 4 times in that, and I blamed her for that. And that time I was on.
How old's your daughter this time?
Like 3, 4 months. Young, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I was still a child, bro. Like, I was not a man at that stage. So for me, it's like I blamed her. I was on every type of drug you could think about. And yeah, so I lost a lot of love and respect from her. So again, 11 years we stayed together, on and off, me cheating, me up and down. Obviously, there's times where I can't just blame myself. Like, I'd give her 10%, but as a man, I'm happy to take 90% accountability. I should have ducked out that relationship, because now she's happier, I'm a better person, and the kids are so much better.
Yeah.
So the answer to your question is, look, if you're in a relationship, and as a man or a woman, and you know that you're only there for the kids, you're struggling mentally, you're 4%, you're 40% of the man you could be, and she's 40% of the woman she could be being together, why would you stay together? Because hear me out, right? So I've realized, well, I don't want my kids to come from a broken home. Do some maths, do some statistics, how many successful men there are or women there are coming from broken homes. versus serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer that had a family together and started killing people. So do you get it? The concept of, oh, well, I can't leave the relationship because my kid might be a bit tossed in the head is absolute bullshlacker.
But do you think something like therapy would actually solve them issues?
So they still, if they solely heartily love each other, yeah. But if you've clocked out, brother, what are you doing?
Yeah. Totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've clocked out and you've clocked out, like I clocked out, like from the time I was cheating, that was it. But I was a narcissist. I don't want anyone else to have her. Right, but I want my cake.
This is mad because like you're total opposite now.
Hey, of course, yeah. But then I still didn't learn. Even when I split up with her, a year and a half ago now, I got with another girl straight away because I've been jumping relationships, bro. From when I was 14, I got a girl pregnant and she didn't keep it. So it's like big relationship. So out of the last, up until I broke up with her in 2020, let's say January 25, but it was before that, I clocked out before that. I was in relationships from 14, losing my virginity, to 30. So 16 years, I was single for 3 months. Do you get it? Relationship pop up.
You never had a break.
No, but that means I didn't ever have to look at myself. I didn't have to ever take accountability for who I was and live in loneliness.
Yeah.
And living that, I was comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I was so comfortable. And then I met someone while I was splitting up and I made some mistakes, bro. Like, I made some mistakes, like introducing this new woman to my kids way too early. I didn't know. She was a nice girl and I didn't even think about how the mother of my children felt. I didn't care. It was still all about me. What do you mean? Do you know what I mean? And then I'd done the same thing to her. And I love that. I really, really fell in love with the girl, the mother, the child, the woman after the mother of my child. And I did the same thing, cheated on her. Because I didn't do no work. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I didn't know who I was. I had something great. But yeah, like that's a karmic relationship when God puts relationships in. Some not relationships all meant to last forever, but they can. People like 3 months, you can't be in love. That is a lie. Of course you can. Of course you can connect with someone in that time and fall in love and learn. Karmic relationships are relationships sent by God for you to learn a lesson that you need to do to evolve. Yeah, you might meet someone. I was saying this to my brother-in-law in the car. You might meet someone, and he was saying, yeah, it happened to me. You might meet someone that's only in life for 6 months, but they have taught you something that no one else would have taught you, and they're gone. You don't see them again. Because sometimes people place, educate, and leave. Do you know what I mean? That's why most people I meet, they go, oh, you've left a real stamp. And that's all we can do as humans. Because it's guess what it costs for me to give someone positive energy? Nothing. Guess how much it costs for me to give someone negative energy? A lot, bro.
Yeah.
it's a lot.
So true. Are you in a relationship now?
Nah. You know what? It's funny because even me and my sister speak about this. So I had that relationship issue from all last year. Man was just dating. I had problems like dating. I was like, no. Everyone's like, you got to chill. And then again, I sat down in December and I got first part of self-reflection, 30 minutes in over a year, changed my whole life. 30 minutes. And I sat there and I went, nah, man, I just got to focus on me now. And by focusing on me, I was able to, the whole content, this has really helped me as a human being, like sharing my story and that, because since then, don't really crave for anyone else. And where I know what I want now, I'm not as lustful. As a man, you're always going to have urges of lust. Whereas before, I just wanted the end goal.
Yeah.
Right. And that's intercourse. But now it's a lot different where I'm looking for something more, where I want like with me, I want more children. But before it was like a lot of, let me not even say that, but certain.
But you're still so young as well, man.
Yeah, I'm 30.
You're 31.
Yeah,
I'm
31. So if that age don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah, true.
Age don't mean nothing. Do you want to know why? If he sees this, he sees this. One of my uncles that he did teach me a lot, might not have all been right. He did teach me a lot and he did act as a male figure in my life at some points. That man is like nearly 60. He has X amount I think he's got 10 kids. And he's one of them now, I think. Right? So you could go, you can't qualify age because you're 36, you have a beautiful house.
Thank you, man.
You've got a beautiful child and you have another beautiful child on the way, but compare yourself to him.
Don't make me cry, bro.
But it's the truth.
Don't make me cry.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but isn't that the truth? So you can't even go, oh, you're 31, I'm 36. Okay, and what does that even mean? And that's what I'm saying. So my perspective is, if we can teach young men to have this mindset by 16, what are we breeding next? Because at the moment, a lot of the young men's youth is, I got to be the artist. I got to be that. I got to be that. I ain't helping anyone. I'm selfish. I just want to be rich. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to be rich. Right. But it's just that mindset shift. And that's why in the business we recruit so many youngsters now. And a lot of them are young women and young men. And I've got a 17-year-old girl selling for us, right? And I look at her and I just think, you're 17 and we're turning these young women into like boss ladies. And I'm thinking, boy, I pray a man try and manipulate you. That ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At 17, billing mad numbers, talking to multi-millionaires on a daily basis, understanding how a man's like, and I think that's the gift that all we can give is that knowledge passed down. Like, my daughter is going to be an absolute nightmare. She will destroy anything she decides to, whether that's, I want to do this, I'm going to do it. I can do it because my dad showed me I can do it. My dad's told me I can do it. The doubt doesn't exist. She go, oh, Dad, I don't feel like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, words are spells, whether they're good or bad. Attraction happens, whether it's good or whether you talk bad, you're right. Whether you talk good, you're right.
How old's your oldest daughter?
10, and it's now 10, and she's just had a big reality shock because it's like the milestone in children don't stop. Do you know what I mean? She's just gone through a time of. She started hitting her time in a month, and I was like, oh my God. But because I've done certain work on myself, I'm prepared more. Whereas I know if this hit me 2 years ago, where I weren't really in tune with mental parenting, because for me, there's two types of parenting. You've got generic parenting, where it's like what I was doing before. Well, I work, I put money on the table.
That's not parenting, is it?
What more do you want? It's a form of parenting. Yeah, it's a form of parenting, and that's not wrong or right, but that's not the parenting I want to do. Whereas a mental parent is hard, really talking, having deep conversations with your kids, understanding when they walk in a certain way, the energy, you can tell something's wrong.
But like you say, it's hard. That's when you know you're doing a good job.
Hey, they always say that, isn't it? And that's going back to your thing about staying in a relationship. Do you know what? Bam, jackpot. Okay, what's my opinion on people staying in a relationship for kids? Here is my question. If you were to leave tomorrow, would it be the hard choice? If the answer is yes, then leave. Because me staying with my baby, the mother of my child, was the easiest thing. Why? Because it wasn't right, but it was easier. I had that house, I had this, I didn't have to parent the kids all the time. I could clock out, I could go out if I want, she'd be there. I could go out. It was easy. See, when I had to leave and I had to go, I got to get myself a place to make sure the kids, that was the biggest thing for me. I got to go live on my own. Me getting that place last year and having to now be responsible for changing bed sheets, which I've never done, is a battle. And that's why my mindset changed, right? I used to look at it like this. Well, I go out, I pay for the holidays, I do this, you just sit on your bum all day looking after the kids. I hold a higher position than you because my currency is real currency. No, you see, when I had to start parenting as a single dad, I would rather go work than have to parent kids. Parenting children is harder than going out to work. Fact.
Totally agree.
Fact.
Totally agree.
Fact. So it changed a lot. So even the currency perspective of a currency exchange. So a woman staying at home Monday to Sunday, look at raising a child, making sure the children are healthy, making sure you got a clean home. I didn't appreciate that because my thing, when I'm going out making 6-7 grand a month for the family, I'm like, no, it's two different currencies, bro. And I think once we can understand that a woman brings value and a man brings value from both ends, and they both go, do you know, I'm going to play my masculine role, I'm going to play my feminine role, and we're both happy with doing that, and we're going to support each other, and you both see yourselves on the same level, bro, what could go wrong?
It's so true.
Yeah,
you just like hit the nail on the head. Yeah,
yeah. I've only learned this from being a bad person, but I've also been a good person. I've been a narcissist, bro. Been a cheater. Do you know what I mean? I broke hearts, and I was on TikTok live the other day, and someone said something. So I think her name was Genevieve. It's so inspiring. She went, "Isn't it sad? Men a boy becoming a man normally has to break how many women's heart to understand?"
That's so deep.
It's deep.
Deep.
And the world's changing now, though. You've got women doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get it? It's changing now, though, bro. And it's just the way it's been. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, why are you always sticking up for single mums? It ain't me sticking up for single mums. I'm just talking from my perspective. So when my kids grow up and if they went into content, they're not just going to be talking about single dads and single mums. They're going to be talking about, I had two parents that co-parented from a space of they care about their kids. And this is what I talk about because this is my experience. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? I can't talk about, I can talk. So when I talk about single dads, it's from my perspective. When I talk about single mums, it's about how I grew up. So when I talk about single dad content, it's what I'm going through now.
Yeah.
I'm still learning that and I'm still easing into that. Like learning how to do my daughter's hair and that. There's loads of little things, you know what I mean? And trying to be emotional available because I've been cold with that girl. Do you know what I mean? She fall down, get up. Do you know what I mean? Get up, don't cry, get up. But then I have to always also realize, Ren, like, she's still got to have a feminine energy.
Yeah.
You can have a brute force running around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that side of things. And a mother's so important. And I think both play such an important role in a kid's life.
How much time do you get with the kids?
Great question. So my thing straight away was, and it's so funny. So when I was in the relationship, I'd go on holidays all the time with my business partner. All the time. She's like, you're going on holidays all the time. Yeah. And I will make the money. Right. Now it's split up. It's like I made it an advocate where if I drop the kids off, I miss them straight away. So now it's got so it's a 2-week shift. So it's a 2-week rota, sorry. So 1 week when it's my weekends, I'll have them one night in the week. So I'll have them one night in a week, drop them to school, pick them up. And then I'll have them Friday night, Saturday night, all day Sunday. So I'm seeing about 4 to 5 days, but so that's that. And then the next week when it's her weekend off, where have we gone with this?
The weekend.
Yeah, so did I just have my week? So I've just had my weekend, yeah. So my weekend is, so my weekend is her weekend to have a time for herself. So when it's my weekend, I have them one day in a week and then all weekend. Then when it's her weekend, her weekend. Then when it's my weekend off, I have them all through the week, apart from one day. So it works really nice, but she still does, I'd say 65%, I'm at 35%. That's why I still pay her quite well, because I still realise that she's still doing a lot more than me. And
how's your relationship with the mother now?
I've just been bad. Like now it's got better, but I have to take full accountability how it's been. Like even when I left, I still tried to keep ties and that. But now it's cool. Now it's really cool. Yes, amicable.
Amicable, that's the word.
And one thing again, I've always tried to do. I knew when I was ready to left when I could leave her in a fun. Like I've left my kids in a beautiful house, in a beautiful area, and she's financially stable. That's good for me, so I can leave and go struggle now.
So you feel good just from that as well, then? Yeah.
How could I not? What the hell? How could I not? Knowing that me leaving that relationship's going to affect the kids, right? And it is me being selfish, it's me being selfish to be selfless. So I'm leaving that situation knowing that I'm going to become a better dad, she's going to become a better mum, and the kids are going to be better off, but it's going to hurt temporarily. So if I'm leaving that to make that happen,
the bigger picture,
I've got to make sure I'm leaving and I'm not leaving her struggling in terms of the basics. So she ain't got to worry about money. She ain't got to worry about this. She's just got to worry about recovering mentally. Right? So I've not been the easiest man to work with. And again, since I started this content and I've done all this self-reflection, I've become a lot better and we've co-parented a lot better. And no matter how much I might disagree with who she is as a person or whatever, she is a great mum. And that's all I care about. She's a great mum. What more can I want? What more could you want as a split?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you got 3 kids?
Two. So my daughter's 10, my boy's 3.
2. Right,
2.
okay.
Oh, God, don't, because I want more kids.
Yeah.
Spoke it into the universe.
It's meant to happen.
Yeah.
It's meant to happen.
It will.
So what do you want them to say about you?
Good, quite beautiful question. What do I want them to say about me? Give it context. What, like when I'm passed away? Or like, what would they say now? Because I wouldn't really...
Thing is, you're so young, so we can't even talk about it.
So what if they said about now? They're so young, so... Good, we'll take it generic.
Your daughter then, because obviously your boy's a lot younger.
Tell me at what age. Because if it was now, it's going to be a different answer.
10 years from now.
10 years from now. My dad, beautiful, because I always say this. My dad has taught me that no man can buy my love of materialistic, because he flew me first class. He took me to Italy for the first time. He bought me the designer stuff, and he showed that ain't really worth anything.
Yeah.
What my dad taught me is that a man can only win me through his gesture and through his mindset. So this is why I always say why I open a car door, and women should always take this as a standard, because on the first 5 dates, let's say a man opens a car door, that 6th date, he stops, you've already seen his alter ego. That was all fake. That was all fake. And that's what I teach my daughter. I say, look, you look out for, does he open a car door? Does he pull your seat in? When you sit down, straight away, he's like, food, drink, I'm looking after you. That's what I do. And that's why I have so much respect for my sister's partner. He looks after her. Right? He looks after her, and that's all. What more do I want? He looks after her, right? So for me, my daughter will look back and go, my dad taught me, because this world's hard, right? The world is not a nice place, and I tell her that. So when she's going to be going out of her friends, doing her dating, which she's going to do, she's going to understand the mechanisms of how to identify a scumbag, someone that just wants the end goal, or someone that's organically there for her, by... does he open the door? Does he do this? Okay, he's now stopped. Has he clocked out because he stopped? All these little things that we do as men, that, bro, men, we're so good at manipulating. It's so easy to, and that's why I'm so confident with dating now, because I understand what I bring to the table. Because when I was younger dating, you'd put this big placebo. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. As soon as you got the girl, all of that, I'm lazy. Oh, you used to go gym with me first. I don't need to now, I got you. I don't need to do that anymore. What do you mean? You're my girl now. And it's how it happens. And the girl goes, oh, okay. But everything I wanted to be, I am now. So it's easy for me. So dating's easy for me, man. I'm just myself. If she don't like it, bye. If she does, cool, we can gel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I want my daughter to say to me. He taught me how to, 1, identify when I'm being played and not. And 2, he gave me this beautiful mindset I'm blessed with, that we will all die one day. So it doesn't matter if you lose or win, because it's life. Because we don't learn from our wins. We only learn from our losses. What have you ever learned?
Yes.
What have I ever... Do you know what? Your first win, when you do something new, do you know what you learn from your first win? Validation.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a podcast. Will it work? Your video that hit over 100k views. You must have been gassed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You were like, oh!
Yeah, me and my mate were messaging like all night that night, coming like, oh, it's on this views. It's on like 80,000, 90,000.
And you hit that 100k, you're like, yes. And what's that first win? What did that teach you? Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, you think every video's going to be like it, but
yeah, but it doesn't matter, but it teaches you what? That you can do this.
Yeah.
It gave you that confidence, oh, I'm not wasting my time. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what your first win does. And then a lot of times after that, your wins don't really teach you anything but rubbing your ego, really. And then I think as soon as you lose, your losses teach you a lot, because you normally learn the most from a loss. And my philosophy to my kids, to my family, to my staff is, you become 2 things when you lose. You either learn or you become a loser. It's that simple. A loss happens, and what happens is you either turn a loser, why me? Oh, I'm depressed. It's never, and you give up.
Yeah.
Or you
literally, that's what I was just going to say. I was going to say, like, I got videos, they might only have a couple of 100 views on them.
Yeah, then
and I know
loss,
most people will be like, it's time to give up.
Yeah, but then you study but then if it's a loss, you study the data.
Yeah.
Okay, could your hook be better? Why? Is it just the algorithm works? And that's where it came into, even with the content stuff. So yeah, that's what I'd want my daughter to say about me, that my dad taught me how to maneuver in life. I call it the mindset, because not everyone has the mindset to always follow her energy and her gut, because it will never let her down. She meditates with me, which is great. She's been doing that since she was 6.
Wow.
So that's really good. Yeah, man, she's going to be, and I always said, she'll be the one that takes the businesses, not my son. And I know that's really controversial. It's just because she's been through the graft. She's been through the pain. She's been through the hustle. She's seen me as a DRUG addict. She's seen the DV. I'm trying to say things so you don't get censored. She's seen the DV. She's seen dad there, dad not there. She's seen mum break down. She's seen me get arrested, police knocking on the door.
She's seen it all, man.
But I already know, I saw that and it made me a better person. So she's learnt through the real stuff. My son's come out at a much better time, where I call him the prince. My kids are royalty. King, anyone that I love, you'll hear me using the word kings and queens, because we are. People are like, why'd you call yourself a king? Why would I not? Why would I not see myself as a king?
You've got to put yourself up there. You can't put no one above you.
Well, it's not, I don't think, no, but even that's a good point. Can you put people above you? Yes, because then what you don't want to do is become an egotistical person by going, I'm the king, I'm the best. So it's more like, when I say I'm the king, it's not even about other people, man. It's because I look at you as a king.
Thank you.
Right? I look at my brother-in-law as a king. Like, we're all kings, bro. So it's not even about, I'll learn things off him. Like, and I was saying to him, it was the maddest thing. I learned something off my boy the other day, and he's 3. Hear me out, right? And it only hit me. So, struggling potty training him. Don't know what happened. He turned 3. He was just like, everything clicked. Doesn't have a nappy anymore, anything. It was the biggest flex ever. I was like, yes. Because with my daughter, I was such an absent father. I was there, but not there. The mother of my child done everything. Potty trained, all of it. This one, I called her, I was like, you have to give me the win on this. I was like, you have to give me the win. I potty trained the boy. I bought him the real life toilets that flush and everything, started using it. 2 weeks later, potty trained. I was like, you have to give it. She was like, oh, yes. Cool. I was like, cool, that's my win, right? So then he started going, I know what to do, like randomly. I know what to do, Dad. I know what to do. I know what to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Dad, don't worry. I know what to do. I know what to do now. And do you know what? It was a week ago. I sat there and I was writing all these, and I was watching all this content and all these, love Jay Shetty, by the way, all these podcasts, and you're listening to all this outside noise. And I sat there and I went, isn't it funny if you just go, I want to lose weight, and you just shut up? Your mind will tell you what you have to do. And it all clicked. I went, wow, I know what to do. And I sat there and I went, how has my 3-year-old son just told me, when I want to change something, let me go inside and just talk to myself, because you know what to do.
Wow, that's something from a 3-year-old.
But you know what to do.
You know what to do. Well, like, he knows what to do. He's 3 years old. He knows what to do.
He hit consciousness. And that was when I realized, raw. Yeah. And I've seen the shift in him. And he taught me that. And I just went, wow. And I just thought, anytime there's a problem, we always look outside of ourselves. But we have to look inside of ourselves, because you already know what to do. You already know, if you're eating a McDonald's, your body will tell you shouldn't be doing this.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Right? But I love it. So you already know what to do. So sometimes when you're looking for all these scapegoats and looking for motivational videos, which I still do, a lot of the time the answer is in silence. And it's the same thing even with selling. The deal is always never, I always tell people this, when you're selling, the deal is never done through what you say, it's what you hear, right? Because you're trying to sell on their need, not what it doesn't matter what you say, it's about what you hear.
Yeah.
Right? Active listening is the most important thing. That's why women normally go to men, you don't listen enough. Because we don't, and they don't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's that thing, when you go to a woman, what's one of the things that you like? I'd like him to be a good listener. Do you know why? And that's one thing I really did when it came to dating. I'd just watch and I'd listen and I'd ask one question. After that, I already knew what she wanted, because she already told me, because I listened. And it's the same thing. And I listen to my kids and I listen to a lot of people. I've got 18-year-olds and I tell all my younger staff, I don't care how old you are. You could come here and make more of an impact than someone at 60. And I'll listen to you. So yeah, so that was my daughter. And with my son, he will be different. He is the prince. He is royal blood. He's royalty. He comes from royal blood. And that would be the thing when they look back and go, yeah. And it will almost be a confidence of, it's not egotistical. It's just an understanding that whatever you think you are. And that's just how the world works.
Have you ever seen that? There's a clip, Tom Brady, and there's like a kid in the audience, and he says to him, who's your hero?
Yeah.
And Tom Brady goes, my dad.
Oh.
Have you not seen that?
Mm-mm.
That's heavy. But I think what you do, I'm sure you will see it, but you are your son's hero.
100%.
I'm telling you that now.
100%.
But like, that's how he's going to see you.
100%. Even going on to that, so then my question to you is, what happens when the kid ain't got a dad? Who becomes a hero?
Mum.
Yeah.
Mum becomes the hero.
Yeah, but then it's, how mad is this? That's the truth, but the perspective of the boy, he doesn't even understand that. Because my mum's my hero, but at the time I didn't see that. I had to be the hero. I had to be the man. I had to go out and hustle, and I had to, all these people, older people on the street that I was doing stuff for, I had to learn off of them. I didn't know what a definition of a man is. So it's one of them ones where boys without their dads, do you know what? That's beautiful. Boys without their dad, who is your hero? And I think that's something that a mum and son could reflect on.
Yeah.
Each other. And I said this in one of my posts. I said, what you have to understand, because I think if you really go down to it, right, a mum and a son without a dad, their thing is going to be like, oh God, what type of man is he going to become? Brother, I have 100 men lined up and go, what's a real man? Everyone's definition is different.
Different, yeah, everything's different.
What is a man? So some people could go old school, some old school ways, well, I'll graft and I'll put the fucking food on the table.
Yeah, and I think that's the generic fit.
But is it wrong? No. Is it right? No, it's all dependent. And some other people might be in really fit and in shape. So when you understand that, a lot of men don't even know what a man is, especially if they've been shown.
So true.
So why does it matter? Do you know what I mean? Like I was never raised by a man. I was raised by my mum's. I wasn't even raised by my mum's positives. I was raised by my mum's negatives and struggles. Do you know what I mean? I learned hard work of seeing my mum hard work. I learned people like, why don't you really get stressed and stressful for situations? Brother, I've been through some situations I should never have got out of. Why do you believe in a higher power? Because I've had experiences. Everything's based on experience. A belief system is around to experience. So it's the same concept, but that's a beautiful thing that you said, that talking about my father. But then the controversial question, well, what happens when a father ain't there? Who's the default? And I think that's a space, and that's where young kids are going to Andrew Tate's, and a lot of young men and them type of men capitalize on that. And there's not a problem with that, because it's business is business. But I think that's the space I'm going to end up going into. But it's just, I just need to make sure it's an authentic space that I want to achieve. Do you know what I mean? And that I want to do. So yeah, that's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's really beautiful.
That is, yeah.
I think that's something you should write down, and we should discuss that more in a separate content question. If your dad isn't there, who becomes your hero? Because it is their mum, but a lot of boys don't realize it's their mum until they're older.
But like you, obviously, with your content and your niche, I think you can. That's
hopefully, and it's been working. Like, bro, some of the messages I'm getting are like insane. Like, my kid ain't been to school in 3 weeks. I showed him your video. He's up for school and he's at it. My kid has never spoke to me. He just come to me today and told me he's been bullied, and now we're dealing with it. And I just thought, raw, me just speaking truth and them showing their young boys. And it's like, yeah, so for me, it's like, that's my currency, right? I'm building, I guess, karmic score points. And I think my mission was to help people. And the funny thing is, when I started, my mission was to help people, and I've already helped people. So it's like, I've already achieved my mission.
Yeah. But it's like a thing to it though. Like, the more people you help, the more
yeah, but then you also realize there's more problems.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I said to you, like, obviously, we're having these conversations with people, and obviously hearing people's problems, that becomes my problem on top of me.
Yeah, and I think, and what we said is, so yeah, go on, lay that down again.
But yeah,
lay what you said again. Lay what you said again. Say that again.
I have great conversation when everyone comes on. I appreciate everyone that came on, but it's not a dig at the individuals. Like, this is what I'm building this for. So I've got my own stuff going on, and then I hear people's stories, and it's like more weight on top of me. So at the end of every night, I'll go to bed and I'll think about that episode, and I'll be like, that's heavy. Deep. That's heavy.
And that's what I said to you. I said to you, but there's a difference, right? And it's nothing about people. It's about the story. If I was to sit here and tell you a story of my dad beat me, which he did, and it still affects me to the day, and I don't know what to do. That's when you're taking a story to bed, because you're like, right, that guy was so nice, and I don't know how I could help him. Versus a story, me going, yeah, my dad beat me, but this is what I've done to get over it, and this is what I do, and I'm trying to help other men. That ain't going to give you a negative. That's going to inspire you. So it's not a problem.
No.
And I think you got to remember as well, it's good what you're creating, but you're just human. It's good what you're creating when there's going to be times, and hopefully the audience, and I will push this to my audience, and this will be good for young men to watch. Do you know what I mean? But you'll get time where people are going to go, oh, I'm struggling with this. How would I go about it? But you can only help if you've experienced it, brother. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's beautiful you said that, because it shows when you talk to guests, that means your energy center's open. I call it an energy exchange, right? When I speak to people, I call it an energy exchange, whether it's in sales, whether it's whatever. I always say to people, if you're going to go on a call and you're going to speak to someone, that is not a sell, that is not a pitch. You're about to exchange energy with someone. Energy doesn't lie. Right, it's that simple. Energy flows where the focus goes. So I think what you said, it's a beautiful thing But yeah, my mind's gone. I can't remember what we're talking about.
But you said earlier on about the listening, and I think that's what I'm very good at.
Okay.
Like, I can sit here, the person in the guest seat can talk for 99% of the time,
Yeah.
but I may talk for 1% of the time, but I'm listening 100% of the time. And I love to hear it. I love to absorb it. Like, I'm hoping I can take weight off the person. Like I said, I take the weight. Yeah, like the therapy talk. But at the same time, I hope when everyone leaves here, they feel better.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
That's yeah, cool. So you've already identified what you want to do. You want men to come here, talk their stories. By talking to you, they're being able to open up like they haven't before. But then when you're taking that, you've got to make sure you've got an energy dump.
Yes.
And I think the good energy dump for you would be taking let's say it's an unsolved issue. You should take that, write it down, and the next couple of days, think about content you could speak about around that problem.
Yeah.
Because then you're almost taking their issue, studying their issue, going away and giving some advice. Because it might even help them. So that's probably why you're feeling that way.
And help others.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So when you're taking all of this weight on and you're going to bed, yeah, of course you are, because you're given a problem and there's no solution to it and you thought, oh, I wanted to come and help them. So you're already opening yourself as an energy target, whether it's, remember, energy is good or bad, it doesn't matter. You can't go, I'm only want to take an energy. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's why you're definitely feeling that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Where do you see yourself going with the social media side of things now? Obviously, you're getting so much traction.
Yeah.
Like, do you think this, like, it's very time consuming? Like, for me, like, what I do, this is very time consuming, the editing, etc. And, like, you post a lot of content.
Yeah,
like,
but it's real talk, man.
Yeah, but how do you balance it? With, like, work as well? Because obviously you work and you've got the kids.
Well, you got to understand, the way I balance it is because I love it. So it's not work. Yeah. So like my main business, I love what I do. And I've got my business partner who's my brother. I got his mum who's my second mum. My mum works for me. I got my sister working for me. We've got an amazing team. So that ain't work. I love it.
Oh, I love that.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm in a position where I get to influence other people in work and the business. So that ain't work. You have to understand, me and my business partner met and we didn't even have a business. So we've created a space where our parents work for us. And the next stage is being able to step away from that business and grow our other business. So, brother, that ain't work. That's beauty. That's beautiful. Kids, it's hard sometimes because I've realized, but as long as I've done everything that I need to do as a man, where when I'm eating right, I'm working out, I'm meditating, I'm doing my affirmations, I'm reading, parenting's easy. And because, do you want to know why? You've done all the hard work in the gym. I've been kickboxing. I nearly died. I thought I was having a heart attack when I went to kickboxing. Shout out S2. So I nearly had a heart attack last time. So when I got to go home and the kids are screaming, I can deal with that. I've already exercised that stress level. So, and this is what I'm saying. When I don't train, and let's say I'm already stressed and it's really hectic, I can't deal with that. So the kids come here in the stress level. But if I've been training and I've been training so hard, I thought I was going to pass out, my stress level range is now here. So if the kids are here, it's nothing.
Yeah.
If the work's here, it's nothing. So I've realized if I'm not doing the work, it gets on top of me. But if I'm doing the work on myself, then everything becomes easy. And that's what I was saying, again, in one of the TikToks. I was saying, you should put yourself before your kids, right? And hear me out on this. You should 100% put your first before your kids, because let's say you're in a mental health crisis, right? And you go, I can't do therapy and I can't do any of that because of the kids. So what happens is the kids is now raised with a mum or a dad that has mental health problems in it. And what do the kids do? The kids are going to learn from your energy and they're going to have the same trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
definitely.
if you go, okay, wait, my kid's still second, but I'm just going to do this now to make sure my kid learns from it. You putting yourself first is actually putting your kid first.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
So
I
think
agree.
Everything's just too black and white in life. Like, I must do. Why don't you go to the gym? Because of the kids. But you do know, by you working out at home and being healthy, guess what you're teaching your kid? What? To work out and be healthy, which will also help their mental health state. It's easier said than done. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's just all about concept and all about perspective. So even that flip perspective will help. So yeah, I can't remember what the question was.
It's all right, man. I wanted to talk about your kids at home. Like, do So my boy Atlas,
Mm.
he's got like
Great name.
when I'm thank you, when we're cooking, so he's got like a toddler tower. So he likes to get the tower
Sick.
right, be like by the worktop, and he's got his plastic utensils and stuff
You're
like
doing,
that. Was
that's
to help.
proper parenting, bro.
Yeah. But he also likes to put clothes in the washing machine.
That's proper parenting, bro. That's proper parenting,
It's
bro.
these little things.
That's proper parenting.
He's got a little Dyson Hoover. Well, as soon as I pull that Hoover, right, his little Dyson is on.
That's parenting, bro.
Yeah. I
That's
love it.
proper parenting.
That's most rewarding for me.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to build that. So that's what I'm saying.
You'll get there.
But when you're sitting there going, oh, you're 31, I'm 36. Brother, what you've just told me, I'd love to be able to do that.
You will.
Sometimes, and I know I will.
You will.
But that's what I'm saying. But I will never sit here and go, oh, why am I not doing it? I think, wow, what a great idea. I need to try and do that.
If there's if we've like spilled some water on the floor, so my oven's got a handle on there and it's going to keep a tea towel on there. My boy will go pick up the tea towel and wipe the
Do you know
spill.
what? And that's why I will give it to you. That's one thing I've started doing, my boy. When he takes his shoes off, he knows where to. So if I'm going to put them on the shoe rack, he knows how to put them on the shoe rack. And do you want to know what you're teaching him? Like what you're teaching your son there, I still struggle with tidying, right? And I still struggle with keeping a place massively clean, but because it's an effort. But what you're teaching your son there, when he gets to manlyhood, him cleaning ain't going to be a problem because he's been conditioned to it.
Yeah.
But that's what I say. We teach our kids conditioned to whatever people think. You're teaching your kids habits. Everything we do is a habit. Everything we do is system, right? So whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. So if you're teaching your kid to be messy and not clean, guess what? They're going to be messy and they're not clean. And guess what? They're going to go, I'm messy and clean because my mum and dad.
Yeah.
So what you're doing there is beautiful. And it's something that I've need to still do myself. And that's what I talk about, where kids normally get traumatized from the things that you ain't worked on yourself, right? So let's say again, like you're massively overweight, you've got diabetes and that, and you're not doing anything to help yourself. You see them families, it's like you've got an overweight mum and then all the kids are overweight. Ooh. But then there might be one skinny kid because that kid learned, okay, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
The other kids just learned from what they were taught. So a lot of times you can't really blame. Sometimes you got to look at the kid, but then look at the parent. But then sometimes you also got to think, right, that kid's just bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're doing very, very well.
I'm trying, man.
You're smashing
it. Trying.
You're smashing it, bro.
I'm doing the best I can.
You're smashing it, though. You're doing, like, what more can you do? You're being a dad that wants to be a mental parent. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm very present as well now. Because obviously I said to you, like, I used to work away and stuff. So, like, I'm very present. I'm very in the moment. And, like, to watch him, like, sometimes he'll do something. It could be anything. And me and my partner look at each other and we'd be like,
sick.
Like, he's really doing this.
But I've only started parenting like that since I've become single, bro. Because my parenting style wasn't even like that. My parent was, I'm making money. The kids are clothed. The kids are well. The kids are good. I love my kids. We go loads of places.
Which is still very important.
Very, very important. But there's levels to the game.
Definitely.
There's levels to parenting. So I think but even saying what you said when you've just gone, well, I'm now really involved with my child. But the only reason you created this opportunity is because what? You had to be absent to realize, actually, I don't want to be absent.
Yes.
So a lot of times you got to go through bad things to understand what's right and what's wrong. Do you know what I mean? So, and like I said to you, you've been able to buy time. And that's the only thing that you can't put money on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can't put money on. And it's funny because, and even with parenting, what I realized through my dad, he was present for the first 14 years of my life. No matter how he was there, right? No matter how bad he was, abusive he was still there, right? From baby to 14, okay? But where he weren't there from 15, 16, 17 and what he did 18, 19, and this is how my parent is. It doesn't matter he weren't there for 14 years. He wasn't there when I was becoming an adult. And this is what I look at parenting. It don't matter how much of a good parent I'm now. Parenting is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm the best parent I am now. Okay, let's see how you are in 20 years, mate.
Yeah.
Let's see where you are in 18 years.
Because obviously kids go through phases as well. So,
Brother,
I mean, like you're going through a phase with your daughter now. She's becoming a young lady.
Yeah, bro. I've got another thing coming up. But then it's even like I went through a phase at the same time. My daughter becoming a young lady, but also my son becoming conscious. Do you know what I mean? It hit me straight at both angles. And I'm, again, experiencing things I ain't experienced before. So I think with parenting, you got to understand it's like it's a lifetime commitment. It's not just, oh, when they're 18, they're out of the house. It don't work like that, bro. I'm 31 and I still call my mum for things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Parenting is like, that's you, that's it. And then again, it's mad because some dads will, and again, some dads will be there to the kids 12, 13. The mum might not be a good mum and go, well, I can't do this anymore, and walk away. The kid ain't going to remember the last 12 years. The kid's only going to remember when you weren't there when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Sometimes when the kid's 1 or 2, and I'm lucky I did it that way. I made a lot of my mistakes when my daughter was young. And I know it sounds controversial, but I was lucky enough to then come back at her, be the man. I knew I weren't the man my daughter was going to need. So I tried to do all the work while she was going through, it's like, oh, well, the kids are young. Like you working away. He ain't going to remember that. What he's going to remember is now. So you had to make the sacrifice when he was still the right age to better yourself as a man.
Yeah.
So even men listening to this, and you might not be a perfect dad now and your kids are still young, bro, you can't write that off. You shouldn't even write off at any stage because it gets harder, because I realized with my dad, as I got older, he couldn't face me because he couldn't face himself. And when a man has a son, you're looking in the mirror. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also as a man, you should only want your son to be greater than you. For an example, again, all I can do is experience my brother-in-law. His dad is sick, hench, like he looks amazing, but I can already see where he's become a better man than him in certain aspects.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. And this is how it should be. My son is going to be serious. He's going to be serious. Do you know, he already looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. That boy is going to be a gentleman, intelligent. That boy is going to be, when he walks into a room, his presence will be known just by him being himself. My son is going to be serious. And that's what I say about raising kings and queens. We have such a good opportunity to bear us up, but it ain't easy. Parenting's not easy. It's not easy at all. Nah.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done,
Okay.
but the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Why is it rewarding? What? Because obviously your babies are still young.
Yeah, so my boy still really young. Like, do you know, like he's like, he has like an emotional toll on me, like,
Okay.
which is really hard to describe. Like, I feel
That's not.
I posted a picture.
Yeah.
I posted a picture. I'll show you it later. I posted a picture on my Instagram, on my story, and I was putting the song on there. Bro, I'm an emotional guy. You know already.
Yeah.
And my eyes are starting to fill up just from this picture. I gotta show you now.
Show me.
I gotta show you now. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
This is a real man.
I'll tell you.
This.
I don't know. It's gonna have copyright because of the audio. Well, I haven't got the audio.
Don't play the audio.
Look at that smash.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's your creation.
Oh.
But that's your value and that's your currency. And you know what I've realized, right? Even me putting videos up with my daughter, a lot of women are out there like going, "Oh my God, I wish my son's dad would do that." But I can't understand how a man couldn't. Well, I can, because when I met my dad, I understood why he left. But the way I've been brought up, even my cousin who has kids, both of my cousins, Perez doesn't have kids, but I've seen the man he is. And then my other cousin, Ezron, like, we've always said, like, we'll never leave our children, but both our dads left us. And that's why sometimes it's such a weird thing, by certain kids that grow up in bad environments end up being good because of that. But then certain kids that are brought up with silver spoons in their mouth end up being bad because of that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's why when I say you just can't you can't put anything in a box. Like, there was this video I reviewed on TikTok again, and it was a debug video, because the guy says all a woman does is shout at their kids, and a man can come in and look straight away and the kid stops. I think you gotta be careful with that, man, because I was going out with a girl and her kid was probably one of the most disciplined kids I've ever met. She didn't shout ever. She looked and it was done. So I had to disagree with that right away, because everything's circumstantial.
I wonder what happened in that situation for that kid to be that way, though. Is there some sort of fear? Is there some sort of fear in the look from the mother?
Should a child not have some sort of fear towards their parents? Like, what? Like,
that's a very controversial.
It's very controversial. Why would should there not be some sort of fear towards your parents? But there's I was scared of my dad, and that weren't a positive fear. But then there's also a fear that could equal respect. That's my dad said, stop, that's enough. I'm going to stop. I respect him. So it's a bit of fear, but And again, everything's so opinionated, and everyone tries to put everything black and white. You shouldn't shout at your kids. Sometimes you're going to shout because you might have had the worst day ever. You're at your stress level, something's happened, and naturally you're going to shout. Like,
I used to raise my voice a lot.
Same.
I ain't even gonna be a around the bush.
Same.
I very rarely do now.
Same.
Like, I've learned patience.
Yes.
I've learned patience
that's
massively.
One thing your kids will teach you patience.
Yeah. Oh,
Mad.
nail on the
That's
head,
one
man.
thing your kids will teach you patience. And I always say it's hard as well. I think people that judge people's parenting without being a parent, you can't.
You can't. You can't.
You actually
You can't.
can't, man, because it's even with my brother-in-law earlier, it was like he never wants his kids to have an iPad, and I love that. That's that mindset.
That's my mindset as well.
Mindset, but brother, there's been days where I've woke up with 3 hours sleep because they're all ill, and I need that 20 minutes, and I've gone watch the iPad. Just watch the iPad.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, everything's controversial, and I think I always say everything has to be looked at from experience and circumstance, right? There's certain things that drop into it, like hitting women and stuff like that. Obviously, you shouldn't do that anyway, no matter if she cheated or whatever. But certain things like parenting styles, women shouting, men shouting, breakups, everything's so personal experience based. Like you see people arguing about Christianity and Islam, right? And I think it's crazy because everything's off experience. Or people that are atheists versus people that believe in God. People that are atheists have never experienced anything with God. Okay, fair enough. I believe in God because I've experienced it. So again, who's wrong and who's right? I don't know. It's experience, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You might say, you should never break up with your partner because it's going to ruin your kids. I'd say different because my mum and dad breaking up made me better.
Yeah, you're living proof of it.
Yeah, but then but then other people might be living proof if their mum and dads have stayed together forever and it's worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is wrong and what is right? And it's all circumstance based. You know what I mean? It's like marriage. I never believed in marriage ever because why? I saw my mum marry my dad, but my dad done my mum over. Normally in written term, it's normally, the women's going to take everything.
Yeah.
Man. Do you know what I mean? And that put me off marriage for years.
Yeah, understandably, it would, wouldn't it? In 100%. Any situation, that situation there is just marriage is a bad thing.
100%. And then women are like, but I want to get married, but I don't. Well, you must be a toxic man. Well, no. If you get to know me, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
And then you can go, I understand. Do you know what I mean? I understand that's the reason why. So again, it's everything just has to look at by experience. Even when I talk to people, right? Let's say, I don't know, someone asks me for advice. The first thing I do is I need to understand their experience and if I can connect, right? Because if someone's talking about stuff that I have no clue about, I'm not going to be like, yeah, this is what you got to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
You're only going to talk about things that obviously you've been through and experienced. For me
personally, yeah, man, because this isn't something that I need to be doing. Like, I've got all my businesses set up. This is just something that's happened naturally, and I'm just talking from the soul.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it, yeah. And it's at first it got addictive in a bad way because it's like you're watching the content scrolling.
I was exactly the same.
Why isn't the algorithm working? Drop it at this time, post at that time, post at that time. And I just realised it's just create quality content and then don't care. It's the hardest thing. You've got an emotionally detach from your content releases. As long as you're talking the truth, drop it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I want to ask you, it might be a personal question.
It probably ain't going to be bad.
Do you speak to your dad now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, 100%.
What's your relationship like now?
Good, beautiful question.
Really?
So, yeah, hear me out. So, I've done this young. So when he left, 14, that guy disappeared for years. I mean, like, face of the earth, man went. And then I found out he was in Jamaica maybe 6 years later. And he's Italian, heard he got extradited, got arrested, and he got a 7-year stretch. So for me, I'm a person that I said to myself, I am not having daddy issues as a man. There's no way in hell. Right? And I've always been a curious kid. Right? So soon as I went, I'm going to come see her. Right? Because my brother ended up in prison. Right? And then my dad, and I nearly ended up in prison. So I was already on that path, but my mum saved me from that. Right? So I went to see him and I had all of my questions. Right? Because for me, as a man, I needed to understand. So it's how it breaks down. So you are your father's sins, right? So it's the truth. So if I had a bad habit of being addicted to women like my dad did, I'm also going to have that. Right. And it took me ages to get over that. So I needed to understand the demons that I was going to have because he's going to have them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went there, I spoke to him, and I just said, like, so why did you do this with mum? Why did you beat us? My man couldn't remember anything. I didn't do that. I'd done all the holidays. I was good all of this. I'd done all that. He walked out. When I saw him in prison, he came out in some pink Ralph Lauren jumper, white shoes, white jeans, bopping. Like, you're out, son, gold teeth. I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to judge him. I'm talking to him, asking him all these questions. Why did he do that? Why did he do this? And I realized every time I faced him head on, he couldn't take it. So I thought, all right, I'm going to pull back. Anytime I went, but you're this, you're that, he didn't like it. So I said, let me just listen to him. And that day I walked out of that prison, it answered so many questions. Doesn't matter, he's my dad. He's just wired that way. You know when they say you should just accept people for who they are?
Yeah.
That's when that quote made sense. Leopards never change their spots. That's when that quote made sense. Water can be thicker than blood. That's when that quote made sense, right? So for me, it was just like, okay, I've realized my dad, he's just very unaware. He's not even aware of doing. So that healed me, bro. Do you know what I mean? So then spoke to him a few times when he was in prison, done his 7-year stretch, was getting day releases. I saw him on 1 day release. But where I kind of did that, I never felt unhealed. Like I never felt, I never felt unhealed because I gave him that space. If he messaged me and I felt like messaging back, I messaged him back. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing attached to it. And then recently, last year, my daughter was like asking me questions about my dad.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up asking questions about my mum's dad and my dad's dad, and they never really answered anything. And I felt empty. I really wanted to meet that side of the family. I went, I'm never letting my daughter do that. But the mother of my children, when I was with her, she went, she's not seeing your dad because I don't want people coming in and out of her life. And I said to her, you do know people are always coming in and out of kids' lives. Here's why. Year 1, your teacher changes. Year 2, your teacher changes. Year 3. So a term they're accustomed to seeing one person every day, and that person changes. I said, what are you protecting her from? Right? Which I understood. So last year, I took my daughter and my son to go and meet him in a Wetherspoons. He lives in Chislehurst. And where I already done my healing, I just sat back. It was in a very safe environment and just let them be. Granddad, can you take me to the toilet? He went, yeah. Took her to the toilet, playing with the kids. We went back to his, playing with the kids. I went, all right, it's time to go now. I knew it probably helped him. Did I gain anything from it? No, it wasn't about me. That was nothing to do with me. I'd done my healing. And then when I got in the car, I said, what do you think then? Right. She went to me, I can tell he's been a bad man, but he's trying to be a better man. And I went,
From a young kid. Ooh.
God, you're so wise. At 9, I was so proud. I was like, good
Wow.
girl. She's made that. So when she asked about him, yeah, like he might call me here and there. If I want to answer, I'll answer. If I want to say he's there in it. And I think that's just who he is. And then it came out that he told me he's got schizophrenia and all this stuff. And this is what I'm saying. If you don't do the work on yourself as a man, bro, like, what do you expect that's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? So that's, I've understood that from a perspective of reality of that he never done the work on himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he used to do some mad stuff, like put recorders under my mum's bed, hide in the garden watching us, like weird stuff. Like the guy was just a fighter. Like and that's why I had road rage. Pull up, fight anyone in road rage. Come out the car, fight anyone. Right, and I had road rage for many years. I probably stopped it over the last 2 years after doing some therapy and stuff. Very big on therapy, by the way. Very, very big on therapy. And I realized acting out like that doesn't make you a strong man. It makes you a weak man. Right?
I agree.
100%. 100%. And I think, again, that's why I'm an advocate of getting kids into boxing and self-defense. Like, since I started kickboxing and boxing with Frankie and at S2, like, I realized it don't matter how big you are, you will get dropped if someone's skilled. And it gives you almost a silent respect. Like I said, me and Frankie were in Derby on the Misfits fight. We were coaching Tempo. And we went to this guy. We went, me and him in Derby, 2 a.m, went to this club, and there was just bare road, man, through the whole thing, 30, 40. But where you know you can handle yourself, you don't need to go in on a pretense. We were just like, yo, how's everyone doing? Because we know we can handle ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's always sometimes the biggest man is the weakest man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we've been going quite a while now. Is there anything you want to touch on before we wrap it up, though? I always ask people this, just in case there's something pretty important that we've missed. But I know, like, I always say to people, after this, we should always do a part two. We should always do a part two.
Yeah, no, we are definitely going to do
honestly, like, I feel like with you, we haven't scratched the surface.
No, because it's so, look, what do I want to touch on before I leave? As me personally, I'm probably 3% of where I want to be and who I can become. Just anyone that watches this, understand that. Stop worrying about all these little things and all these stresses because they don't really matter. You're all going to die one day.
Yeah.
Make the call you need to make to the person. Reply to the text that you need to reply to. Take the job that you want to take. Take the risk. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to go broke. Oh, well, who cares? For dads, if you've got, do you know what? Here we go. If you've got kids and you've decided not to see your kid, that's fine, but accept that. And what I mean by this is that, do I think you're a scumbag? Yeah, but will I respect you if you go, I've got kids, but I'm a deadbeat dad and I don't care? Fair. At least you've owning it. At least you've owned it. Cool, I know what you are, I can deal with you. Not a problem, bro. I can't judge you because you've been real. And then dads that want to be better dads or that are having problems with the baby mums, the only things I can say is do everything with the right intention. As long as you do walk forward with everything with your kids on your mind, you just got to do what you got to do. And sometimes taking a step out of your situation you can learn a lot. But yeah, man, this is just the start of the journey. It's the first podcast. Let's see what happens after this.
I can't wait for you to start yours.
Yeah, it's
gonna come down, but I'm gonna be very prepared.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have notes and everything.
Yeah, man, just even that, like, that's an exciting thing to do, and I think that's just gonna be, yeah, like, I want to do some controversial stuff. Like, and it's funny, when I first started, my sister was like, "Are you never gonna run out of content?" I was like, "How?" Because now it's like I'll post something, and then I'll see like 30 to 40 different issues, and I go, "Oh, I've experienced that. I can talk about that."
But every day is different as well.
Yeah, I even posted something where my son was potty training. He took a number 2 and it was everywhere on the floor. And you know what content I did? I went raw. So my old problems were him getting up, me having to change his nappy or finding a toilet to change his nappy. My new problem is I don't have to find a toilet. So it's even worse. Because I'm on long drives now. If he goes pee-pee, I got to stop.
Yeah.
He's waking up middle of the night, dad, pee-pee. So, yeah, and just understand one more thing as well. It don't matter, like, be grateful for where you are, because when you reach your goal, you're not going to be grateful anyway. For an example, let's say right now you're driving an '08 plate Ford and your goal car is a BMW X5, right? Your problem is, I ain't got that car. So go back a couple years when your problem was, I haven't even got a driving license, right? But then what happens is you get your driving license, you get your car. So you've reached your goal, but what's your next problem? Oh, I've got to pay insurance. I've got to pay fuel. Then what's going to happen? You get your BMW X5. Oh, I want this car. I want that car. Bro, if everyone could just write down what enough is, what their enough is, everything will be a lot better.
Yeah.
And moving fast doesn't mean... Moving slow normally means you'll get there faster. Moving fast means you'll get there. It will take longer to get there. And that's it.
Thank you, man.
Always
I
a
appreciate
pleasure,
you coming all this way as well.
Oh, it was a pleasure, bro.
Like, really.
I didn't drive anyway, so I'm going to sleep on the way.
Thank you all for coming, man.
It was a pleasure.
It's been really nice.
Like I said, energy don't
Thank
lie.
you.
And like I said, we'll do a part of this. We'll kick it about some content ideas, man. Because I think you've got a lot to share. Like, you've told me a lot that I think at the moment your audience is coming on for your platform and for your guests. When really what you've told me, your audience really should be here for who you are and why you've done this and why this even exists. And you got to remember, this is here because of a thought and you took action. Same thing.
Yeah. Respect, man.
Always, my bro.
Big time.
Thank you for the black coffee. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. Leave a comment. ask this guy a question in the comments, because I'm sure he
drop
can
some
help.
questions.
He can
Yeah.
definitely help.
You
But
can help me as well.
Yeah, and I'll link all your social medias in this.
Let me know about the socks on the jacket match if it's too much.
That's a great fit, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I love it. I love it, man. And hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.